So I asked BG Sport to provide some information to me as they were asking me to take the video down, and so I have given them some questions to answer, and this page has appeared in the past 24 hours by the looks of it, and it claims to have their registration certificate that allows them to operate under local laws. Now, what they've actually provided is, if you click on this document here, they've got a certificate of incorporation for the SEC in the Philippines. So if we just have a look at this document, okay, so we can see that this is a legitimate certificate of incorporation. The QR code goes to this page, which is indeed on the SEC website. But let's have a look at what this company is. Now, it's saying that this is a stock corporation, which means that the company holds their own stocks privately. It's a one person corporation. It holds stock privately, like a private limited company would in the UK, and that their company classification is all Filipino, that they're only operating in the Philippines, which we know isn't true. The other thing that we want to pay attention to is the company name, BG Sports, but it's spelt BGS Sports, and when you go to their websites, they're not representing themselves as BGS Sport. They're representing themselves as BG-Sport, and there's no iteration that this company would trade as BG Sports anywhere on the page. So that's a bit of a red flag in itself. They're saying that their company engages in the business of information technology products and services, such as but not limited to the research, software development, production, management and operation of software and hardware technology and other information technology applications, and do all activities directly or indirectly connected therewith or incident thereto. And the industry classification is information and communication, and the group of the industry is software publishing. Now, that's not the way that they're operating at all. Okay, they're offering investment advice. So let's go to their certificate of incorporation. Now, this is no different than say, if you go to Companies House in the UK, this is where you can get information about companies. So let's just say, for example, let's just look up a company, one company that comes, SLS Payment Solutions, I think it's called. So let's just put that in. This will do. Any old business will do. And so this right here is the equivalent of this right here, because in the Philippines they don't have a separate entity for registering companies and companies that also offer securities and exchange product, investment companies. So in the UK, we have Companies House, which just registers a company, and we also have the FSCS, or the FCA and the FSA, who are the regulatory bodies for anyone offering financial services in the UK. So what you can see here on this particular company here is the name of the company registration, their company address, when they were incorporated, when the company was formed, okay, and that they offer bookkeeping activities. So this is some kind of accountancy firm. So, excuse me. So this is just saying this is a legal entity, a company that has private shareholders, and it will submit its filing history on here, all of its accounts, and it will also tell you who the directors are, who's resigned, what positions they have, like this person's a director, that person's a director, but some people are secretaries, there's all sorts of different positions within a company. But basically a private limited company doesn't trade their shares, their stock, on the stock market. It's all private. So that's basically what this is, okay? This is a certificate of incorporation with the company registration number there. There isn't any information of who. We haven't got any names yet because they're not required to do that until 15 days after this was created, and this was created on the 29th of November 2021. But what we need to pay attention to is that this certificate grants juridical personality, because that's what limited companies are. They are kind of like a legal person in a way, but it says it does not authorize this excuse me, this certificate does not authorize this company to offer any of the following here. And one of the main things that they cannot offer is investment contracts. They cannot offer they can't be a broker or a dealer in securities. They cannot be investment advisors of an investment company. So the main thing that they can't offer is a service as an investment advisor of an investment company. And they're also not allowed to engage in investment solicitation, which they definitely do, and investment taking, because remember, they're not saying that they're offering gambling. It's not a gambling website. They're saying it's an investment. They use the word investment multiple times. Oh yeah, here you go. So this is the cover sheet for registration for the incorporation. So that's what this is. They filled out this form and it gives them this certificate, but they haven't provided anything that would be from these forms here, because they're offering financial products. They're soliciting investments, they're taking investments, they're offering financial advice, they're telling people that they've got risk-free investments, okay? So they need one of these secondary licenses. Now the whole point of having these licenses is that when people invest in you, you are saying that there is an overarching government body that will protect the consumer. If you go bankrupt, then you're registered with this company and the accounts can be dealt with through the state. It wouldn't just be one of these licenses. They'd need multiple licenses, and everyone who works for them would need them as well.
On the platform, it is very transparent.
So no, I'm afraid that this document does not give you the authority. You are not licensed to offer the services that you're offering. Another fake document that I've been asking them to explain is why is it that you've got this independent article that's not from the Independent, you know, and that comment there has said 3 days ago since I published my video. Okay, so there is no active JavaScript here. This has all been typed in, you know. You only have to look at it to know that they're all just, you know, fake. But if I click on this, just to prove that this still has something to do with GTT, there you go, GTT. And if I start talking to this person, I will no doubt start talking about BG Sport. So, you know, if you try and say that it's nothing to do with you, then you're lying. But yeah, and if just explain to me why have you, and right here, you know, you're using words like sustainable investment, wealth management, yeah? We will customize a professional investment plan for you. Let us work together on a win-win investment plan, which in line with your financial plan and risk tolerance. And then you're saying that it's zero risk. You know, you're offering financial advice, and a certificate of incorporation is not a license to offer those products. You know, why are you using a fake independent art? Why did you publish this and share it in the Telegram group? Why is it a pinned post in the Telegram group? But the biggest fundamental question that I need you to answer is the one that's in the video that I made, which says that, you know, you're going to be paying out 94% of the time to people who are winning by giving the incorrect result, and then there's only like you know 6% that are going to actually lose. But you're saying that as long as they follow your analyst's recommendation, then you will pay out, and so that they don't lose any money. So when you look at it like that, there's 100% you're paying out. How, you know, where does the money come from? The money has to come from investors, and you admit it in your video that explains how the whole process works, indirectly in flowery language. But the only way that this can possibly sustain itself is if you keep getting new investors. And I think that's why you're worried, is because my video might be stopping more investors coming through, and so you're stopping, so then you're unable to pay, you know, later investors with new investors. That's a Ponzi scheme. Also, I'd like to bring to the attention of everybody that they tried to wedge a privacy complaint against my original video about them, which I responded to, and I have blurred out the face of Millie in that video. But I think that this was a last-ditch attempt to try and take down the video. So, you know, why did you resort to that when you had all these other questions to answer?